kindergarten, it's Mrs. Huaco, and it's Fun Friday. So today I thought we would make cone cakes. And cone cakes are kind of a cross between an ice cream cone and a cupcake. So we basically make cupcakes in an ice cream cone. So this is the list of items that you need. Okay. All right. So you need flour, sugar, baking powder, salt, milk, vegetable oil, vanilla, 1 egg, okay, that's to make the cupcakes. Later, when the batter is done, we're going to pour that into a flat bottom ice cream cone. And then, after we bake it, we're going to put ice cream on top of our cupcake in the cone and make a little ice cream cupcake sundae. Oh, there's my dog. Okay, now on top of that, well, not on top of that, but in order to make this, we need a bowl, kind of a medium to large size bowl, and a large whisk. Okay, we're not going to use a mixer. We're going to use a whisk. And a whisk is like one of these. Okay, so we need a whisk and a bowl. Okay, and also a timer because we're going to be whisking our batter for 3 minutes. Okay, so we're going to get a workout this morning. Let's see what else. And don't forget, we need our measuring cups and our measuring spoons. And let me show you what the cupcakes look like. I mean, the ice cream cones look like. Okay, so something like this. They have a flat bottom. Alrighty. Okay. All right. So, you can pause the video if you want and go get all of your items so we can start our baking. And let's see if my dog will stop barking. Would be good. All right, I'm going to go try to get him to stop barking. Okay, I'm back. My dog is quiet for now. We'll see how long he stays quiet. The other thing I forgot to show you is when we bake our ice cream cones with the batter in them, in order to keep the cones standing upright, you need to put them in a muffin tin. And depending on the size of your ice cream cone, some of them have a really wide bottom and some have a smaller bottom. So you need to make sure they fit into a muffin tin, okay, like this. So I have 2 different kinds of muffin tins. I have one they call a mini muffin tin. Okay. Now these holes are really small compared to these. See? This is the regular size cupcakes and these are mini cupcakes. And my ice cream cup cones have smaller bottoms, and so I'm probably going to use a mini pan so they don't wobble and fall. Okay? So, goes away. So the first thing we want to do, wash our hands, all right, make sure they're all clean, and get an adult to help you turn the oven on. The oven, we want to make sure that the bottom rack, that there's a big space between the bottom rack and the middle rack. So you might need to take the middle rack out of the oven and put it on the top. So you have a big distance because the cupcake, the ice cream cone is kind of tall. We want to make sure that's clearance, all right? So have an adult help you move the racks right now and turn on the oven to 350 degrees, all right? Great, go do that and pause the video. I'll keep going. And in fact, I'm going to turn my oven on right now. All right, 350, oven on. I want to make sure my racks are placed pretty well. So, you see how much height I have here? between my bottom and my middle, because I'm going to put it down here. Okay? All right. So let's get mixing. All right, so the first thing we need in our bowl is flour. Let's see. Whoops. Had it too far away from me. So we need half a cup plus 2 tablespoons. Now I halved this recipe so that we didn't have a whole bunch of these cupcakes. Okay, so the finished quantity that we're going to have is about 6. If you wanted more, we could double the recipe. Alrighty, but for this exercise, we're just going to make about 6. And I halved all the ingredients, so we're not using a whole bunch of flour, okay, or other ingredients. So, a half a cup of flour into our bowl. Half cup measure. And remember, when we do this, we're going to level off our measuring cup, right? I got my straight edge. I'll measure that off. Okay? So, half a cup in the bowl. And we also need 2 tablespoons. That's the big spoon. Okay? We need 2 of these. 1. And 2. So that's our flour. Then we need granular sugar. That's our table sugar. Okay. We need a 1/4 cup of sugar. So, let's see. A 1/4 cup measurer. And fill that up. Make sure that is smoothed off. 1/4 cup of sugar into our bowl with our flour. And we need an additional 2 tablespoons of the sugar. So that same one I used for the flour, I'm going to get 2 tablespoons. 1 and 2. All right, let's put our sugar away. Let's see, what's next? Baking powder. So, oops, our baking powder. Okay, we need 3/4 of a teaspoon. So, they don't make a 3/4 teaspoon, or at least I don't have one. So, I use a 1/4 teaspoon, that's the tiny one, 3 times, okay, to make 3/4. So, put it in. And what's nice about the baking powder, it has a little straight edge right here, so I can make sure my scoop is level. So, that, drag it right off the top. That's 1, 2, and 3. All right. There's the baking powder. Then we need 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So again, this little guy, and I'm not going to pour it over my bowl because for sure I would probably put too much in. So I'm going to use a measuring cup and I'm going to pour it over, see that? The measuring cup, so in case I spill any. So here's my salt. Okay. And just a little bit of salt, 1/4 teaspoon, not too much. Okay. There, no spills. Into the big bowl. And let's see what else we need. What I'm going to do right now is we have all those dry ingredients in here. I'm going to take my whisk and just sort of mix the dry ingredients down a little bit. Okay. Just so they're what we call incorporated. They're mixed up. Okay, just a little bit. That's good. The next thing we need is milk. I didn't bring my milk out, so I got to get my milk from my fridge. Milk. So for milk, we need a 1/4 cup of milk. All right. I have my measuring cup. I like the one with the little spout because I'm dealing with liquid. So it's a 1/4 of a cup. Now, it's best to put this on the table so I can see it and have everything level. I'm going to pour it in until I hit the 1/4 mark. And there we go, 1/4. That goes in here. Plus 2 tablespoons. So get my tablespoon measure out again, and I'm going to pour it over this in case I pour a little bit too much. I don't want to pour it into the bowl right yet. I'll make sure I have the right amount. So 2 tablespoons of milk. There, move this down. Whoops. Okay. That's 1. I'm going to put that in my bowl. And here is 2. Ooh. All right. Got to be really careful when you do that you don't spill it. I'm going to put my milk back in the fridge so it stays cold. Now, the next thing we need is 2½ tablespoons of vegetable oil. Okay? So I'm going to pour this again over this cup so that I don't put too much into my bowl. Okay? So I need 2½ tablespoons. We're going to 2 tablespoons. There's 1. And it's a good idea to have your bowl close to what you're pouring over. And 2. All right. And 1/2. Now, if you don't have a 1/2 tablespoon measurer, 1/2 tablespoon is basically the same thing as 1½ teaspoons. So I have a 1/2 tablespoon, but I'll do the 1½ teaspoons for you. So here's your 1 teaspoon. And here's your 1/2 teaspoon, which is smaller. You're going to get really good at being careful when you pour things, huh? Okay. And there we go. Oh, I didn't put that back away yet. The next thing we need is vanilla. So we need 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. It's a lot of ingredients in this one, huh? So here's my 1/2 teaspoon measurer. I'm going to pour it. Yeah, okay. Put that in my bowl. One more item. The fun item. Dun, da, 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 the egg. Okay? So, I'm going to do my egg again on the glass bowl. Right? Hopefully we won't have any mishaps. All right, let's see. Can I do this without getting any eggshell in the cup? Let's find out. Ooh. Ooh, I think I'm getting better at this. Look at that. Nice. Okay, I'm going to pour that into my bowl. All right. Okay, so now we need to get our timer. Okay, now look, we have all of our ingredients in our bowl. We're going to whisk it up with our whisk. But 3 minutes is kind of a long time. So I'm going to set our timer. Let's see. Okay, and at this point, you can pause the video do your 3 minutes, whisk away, all right? And I'm going to do the same, all right? Well, actually, I'll show you first when we get started, all right? Okay, and on your mark, do you have your timer? All right, okay, so on your mark, get going, and we're going to whisk, all right? You can mash that egg up a little bit, okay? So the idea is that we're going to make this batter super smooth while we're doing this, okay? So that's why we're whisking it and whisking it, so the ingredients get really smooth. And we're going to do that for 3 minutes. All right, I'll see you when it's done. Okay, did you get a workout? All done whisking that batter away? So your batter should be nice and smooth, like that. Okay. Ooh, just dripped some. Okay, and now the fun part. We're going to get our cone cups. All right. And we're going to fill them up. Now, we don't want to fill them up too much. And the reason is if we fill them up too much with the batter, the cupcake will expand when it's in the oven, when it's cooking, and it'll rise up, and we won't have any room for our ice cream. So we're going to only fill up, I'm going to leave about 1 inch from the top. So in this cupcake, for me, 1 inch is really just filling this part up, so that all of this, we can get the ice cream in, okay? If you want to have your cupcakes coming up over the top, then fill them up higher. But if you want to have room for the ice cream to sit in the cone, then only put the batter up to about here, so that this part has some room for the ice cream to stick, okay? So, I don't know how many it's going to take, so just have your cones ready. We just fill them up one by one and put them in our muffin tin. And I'm going to use something like a spoon, or I'm going to use a 1/4 cup measurer to help me pour into this cupcake. I keep calling it a cupcake, into the cone. Okay, so let's see if you can see this. It's really kind of tricky with this. Let's do that. Let me move this over here. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to pour the batter in. Okay. So you see, can you see that? How much is in there? I don't know if it's too bright. Okay. And then I'm just going to put this into my muffin pan. All right. So. Okay. Yeah. That one I didn't get quite enough. I'm going to give it a little bit more in there. Okay. That over here. I don't like the way, there we go. That looks a little bit better. Okay, take another one. All right. So you can pause the video and go and fill up your ice cream cones and then come back. Okay, and then we'll put them in the oven. Okay, so all done filling up your ice cream cones with cupcake batter. Okay, so now you need to get an adult to help you open up the hot oven. By now it's probably ready. It's probably at 350 degrees. So, pot holders, okay, oven, open it up. Woo! I can feel the heat. All right, let's get our ice cream cones full of cupcake batter into our oven. All right, let's see. Here we go. In there, close the door, and voila. All right, so now we're going to set our timer. It says 30 minutes about until the cupcake in the ice cream cone is a little bit golden and the top is springy to touch, or if you put a toothpick into it, it comes out clean. So it says 30 minutes. I'm going to put my timer for a little bit less. Like I told you, sometimes ovens are a little bit different, and so we don't want them to overcook. It's better to test it and then leave it in for a little bit longer, then come back and find out that your creation has burnt. Okay, no one likes burnt baked goods. So I'm going to put mine on for about 28 minutes, and I'm going to check when it dings. Okay, all right, and I will see you a bit later. The garden. Okay, so are your cone cakes ready? All right, let's check and see if mine are ready. And remember, toothpick is a good way to test to see if the cakes are done. If the toothpick comes out clean, they're done. If it comes out gooey, it means it needs to stay in the oven for a little longer. So I'm going to check my cone cakes. They look done. Ooh, I think so. Let's see. I'm going to put them on this cooling rack here. So you can see. Okay. I'm going to take one of these cones and test it. Looks pretty clean. I think they're done. Okay. So now they have to cool. They have to cool because if we try to put our ice cream on them now, the ice cream will just melt. All right. So turn off your oven and let your cone cakes cool, and then we can make some cone cake sundaes. Okay, we're back. So now it's time to get the good stuff. Some ice cream, some whipped cream, some toppings, maybe sprinkles, maybe a cherry. So I'm doing all of that. So I have my cone cake. For whatever reason, it still rose up really high. But anyways, I think I can make the ice cream work. Now, for whatever reason, we don't have much in the way of ice cream flavors in my house right now. So vanilla. But I like vanilla. Vanilla's pretty good. So I'm going to take my scooper, okay, and my vanilla ice cream. And, oh, maybe I should let this sit out a little bit. I'm not going to be too greedy. I'm not going to make too big an ice cream mound. Okay, here we go. Ice cream onto my cone cake. All right. Ooh, look at that. Yum. Okay, I got to kind of push it down there a little bit. See that? Let's see. What else do we think we're going to put on that, baby? How about some whipped cream? Yeah. Oh. My whipped cream, I'm going to shake it up. Yeah. All right. Some whipped cream on this. And how about some chocolate sprinkles? Okay, let's see, chocolate sprinkles coming up. Okay, and I think for my sundae on a cone, I'm going to have a cherry. Let's see. Ooh. Ah. All right. What do you think, huh? A new way to have ice cream and cake. Hope you had fun making this, and I hope you enjoy eating them too. All right. See you next time. Bye, guys.